Okay, so tariff. So what is tariff? Whenever say we say that tariff, then the tariff is a rate at which electrical energy is sold to the consumer, or we can say the charge at which electrical energy is supplied to consumer is known as tariff. So, in terms of tariff, we are paying for electrical energy. Means as we are paying the electrical bill or electricity bill, means we are paying the tariff. So, what are the factors which are included in this tariff? Because if whatever electrical energy we are consuming, for that we are paying. So if we are paying, then what are the factors which are included in the our electricity bill? So what are the factors? The factors are like electricity energy generation, means the electrical energy distribution company is taking from us the cost of electricity generation. Okay, so as the company is having the investment for the generation plant, so obviously they will take the cost from consumers only. So these certain objectives are there for tariff. So what are the objectives of tariff? So this is the first objective, that is recovery of cost of producing electrical energy at the power station. So in the tariff, what is included? Cost of production of electrical energy, means recovery of cost of production producing electrical energy. That is, next is recovery of cost on the capital investment in transmission and distribution system, means that tariff includes the cost of transmission system, cost of distribution system, because if transmission system is there, means transmission lines are there, so cost of transmission lines, cables, insulations, poles, then cost of substations, transformers, then switch gears, protective devices, all these equipments are there, and the recovery of these equipments, that is included in the tariff. Then distribution system is again substations are there, poles are there, transformers there, distribution lines are there, so this cost is also included in the tariff. Along with that, maintenance cost, obviously equipments are there, maintenance will be there in generating stations, the maintenance of all these equipments is there. Then if transmission system is there, then also there maintenance of the system will be there. For each and every equipment, maintenance is required. So maintenance cost and operation cost, running cost, this is also the factor which is included in the tariff. Then along with these factors, suitable profit on the capital investment. Obviously company any company, if it is selling any product, then they will obviously expect some profit. So the profit will be there, means whatever tariff, when we say the tariff, means that tariff includes the cost of production of electrical energy, cost of investment in transmission and distribution system, then cost of operation and maintenance of supply of electrical energy, means metering equipments or billing, then the suitable profit. So these all terms are included in the tariff. Then what are the characteristics of tariff? What are the characteristics of tariff? How the tariff should be? Means if tariff is there, then first term is proper return. Means proper return should be there, means cost of the that tariff should include the cost of generation, the tariff should include the cost of transmission, means transmission of electricity, then the tariff should include the cost of distribution, then cost of maintenance, it should include the cost of operation, it should include certain profits. Means whatever, if the generation system or distribution system is supplying us the electricity, then they should earn some profit also. Means the return, whatever the return they are getting, that should be equivalent to their generation cost, distribution cost, operation cost, maintenance, profit, also running cost. Okay, so this is the proper return. Means the tariff should be such that it ensures the proper return from each consumer. That is, the total receipts from the consumers must be equal to the cost of producing, supplying electrical energy plus reasonable cost. And this will enable the electric supply company to ensure the continuous and reliable service to the consumer. Then the next factor is fairness. The tariff should be fair. The tariff should be fair so that different types of consumers are satisfied with the rate of charge of electrical energy. Means big consumers should be charged at low rate. Means if the consumers are using more electricity, then they should be charged at low rate. And if the consumers are using the less electrical energy, then they should be charged at low rate. This is because the increased energy consumption spreads the fixed charge over the great number of units, and that's why it reduces the overall cost of producing electrical energy. Similarly, the load conditions, that is the factor. If the load conditions do not vary much or do not deviate much from the ideal, then they should be charged at low rate. Means if fluctuation in load is less, then the consumers will be charged at low rate. But if fluctuation in load is more, then the consumers will be charged at high rate. This is what we can say the fairness. Means fairness should be there. Means if the consumers are having fluctuating loads, means they will be charged at high rate. And if the consumers are having low fluctuating load, then they will be charged at low rate. Okay. Also, the big consumer should be charged at at low rate, and small consumer should be charged at high rate. This is what the fairness. Then the simplicity. Simplicity means tariff should be simple. Tariff should be simple so that an ordinary consumer can easily understand it. Ordinary consumer can easily understand it. Because if the tariff is complicated, then the ordinary person cannot understand it. Ordinary person cannot understand it, and he will oppose it will cause the opposition from the public. Okay. So tariff should be such that a normal person can easily understand its calculation should be easily understood by the normal person. Then is reasonable profit. The reasonable profit means the profit, whatever the profit which is earned by the utility company, that should be reasonable. So generally that is near to 8%, because the electric supply companies, it is public utility company, and it generally enjoy the benefits of monopoly, and therefore the investment is relatively safe due to non-competition in the market, and that's why the profit is also restricted to generally 8%. Okay. Then the next characteristic is attractive. How the tariff should be? It should be attractive so that large number of consumers are encouraged to use the electrical energy. So electrical energy should be attractive, means maximum number of consumers should use it. It should not be very high or it should not be very low. So these are the factors, or we can say some characteristics of tariff. Some characteristics of tariff. Then we will see the types of tariffs. Types of tariffs. So what are the types of tariff? First is simple tariff, flat rate tariff, block rate tariff, two-part tariff, three-part tariff, maximum demand tariff, power factor tariff, and TOD tariff. These are the different types of tariff. So we will see one by one. So first is simple tariff. Simple tariff, name itself saying that it is simple. Simple means when there is fixed rate per unit of energy consumed, it is called simple tariff or uniform rate tariff. Uniform rate means same rate for all the consumers, all types of consumers, the rate will be same. Then that means uniform rate tariff or simple tariff. This is the most simple type of tariff, and in this, the consumers are charged for per unit use, for per unit used. And in this type, the price charged per unit is constant because it is uniform rate tariff. So charge is price is constant, charge per unit is constant. It means price will not vary with increase or decrease in number of units used. Whatever number of units are used, if 200 units are used or 400 units are used or 600 units are used, the rate will be same. If per unit rate is 5 rupees, then for all the number of units used, the rate will be same, that is 5 rupees per unit. Okay, and in this tariff, there is no difference for small and big consumers. Means small consumers are also charged at same rate, and big consumers are also charged at same rate because it is uniform rate tariff. Rate is same for all consumption. But disadvantage is that no discrimination between different types of consumers because rate is same. If the consumers are consuming more units, then also the rate is same, and if the consumers are consuming less number of units, then also the rate is same. There is no discrimination between big consumer and small consumer, and the cost per unit delivery is high. So it does not encourage the use of electricity because if number of means if consumption is more, then they also have to pay for the same at the same rate. Means it is not encouraging the use of electricity. Then the flat rate tariff. Flat rate tariff means different types of consumers are charged at different uniform per unit rates. Means here what is done, here the consumers are grouped into different classes. Consumers are grouped into different classes, and then different class is charged at different uniform rate. Different uniform rate. Now these consumers are charged at different rate according to their consumption. According to their consumption. And these classes are how these groups are formed. These are formed taken into consideration their diversity factor and load factor. Depending on the diversity factor and load factor, these groups are divided. Now these consumers has to pay two different rates for different loads. Means if power load is there, then their rate will be different, and if lighting load is there, then the rate will be different. Plus rent of meter to be installed in the consumer premises. Means they have to pay different rates for different loads. Also, they have to pay for the meter which is installed in the consumer's premises. So total bill of the month will be the amount of money per kilowatt hour used plus amount of money per light load energy consumed plus rent of meter. Means it will include kilowatt hours, then it will include the cost for light loads, then also it will include rent of meter. So this will form the flat rate tariff. So flat rate tariff includes what? Amount of money per kilowatt hour used, amount of money per light loads energy used plus rent of meter. What are disadvantage of flat rate tariff? Now this type of tariff, it varies according to the way of supply used. Separate meters are required. In this tariff, separate meters are required for lighting load and power load because power load is charged differently and lighting load is charged differently. That's why the separate meters will be required for light load as well as for light loads, and this is the disadvantage. And this makes the application somewhat expensive and complicated. Obviously, separate meters are required, means it becomes expensive and also complicated. And as we are seeing, the groups are divided depending on their load factor and diversity factor, and that's why the experienced person are required to decide the load factor and diversity factor. In this tariff, big consumers and small consumers are charged at same rate. Big and small consumers are charged at same rate. These are the disadvantages of flat rate tariff. Now next is block rate tariff. Next is block rate tariff. Now when the given block of energy is charged at specified rate and succeeding blocks of energy are charged at progressively different rates, then it is called block rate tariff. Means if suppose any consumers is consuming 1000 units in a month, okay, then we may say that first 500 units, for first 500 units the rate per kilowatt hour will be different. Means if the consumer is consuming 500 first 500 units, then its rate will be suppose 7 rupees. Then if he goes on in using the units, if after 500 if extra 200 300 units he is consuming, then the rate will be different. It may be 5 rupees per kilowatt hour. And then again he is using 2 extra units, then the rate for those 200 units will be different. Suppose we can say 2 rupees per kilowatt hour. This is the block rate tariff. Means the total electric, means whatever units we are consuming, those units are divided into different blocks and the rates are decided for each block. That is the block rate tariff. Suppose if for first 100 units, here we have taken the example, for first 100 units the rate may be 7 rupees per kilowatt hour. Then for next 100 to 300 units it may be rupees 5 per kilowatt hour. Then for next, that is 300 to 500, again the rate may be 2 per kilowatt hour. So means in this type the energy consumption is divided into blocks and the price per unit is fixed in each block. Now the amount for consumption of energy decreases as the units consumed by the consumer increases. Means if units consumption increases, then the amount or rate will go on decreasing. Means if amount for consumption of energy decreases as the units consumed by the consumer increases. If units goes on increasing, then rate will go on decreasing. And there is advantage for industry people to use the bulk power at low tariff rates, because in industry maximum number of energy is used and there they get this advantage of block rate tariff. So this type of tariff, it encourages the consumer to use high amount of energy, because as the energy in consumption of energy is increasing, the tariff goes on decreasing. Now next type is two-part tariff. Next type is two-part tariff. So two-part tariff means, obviously as the name indicates, there will be two types of tariffs. So first is the rate of electrical energy is charged on the basis of maximum demand of consumer. Means first charge will be on the maximum demand of consumer, and second tariff means on the units consumed. Means two-part tariff means two types are there, one on maximum demand and another on units consumed. So total charge becomes A into kilowatt plus B into kilowatt hour. So for maximum demand, charge will be different. For maximum demand, or we can say kilowatt, for kilowatt the charge will be different, and for consumption again the charge will be different. So if A is the charge per kilowatt of maximum demand and B is the charge per kilowatt hour of energy consumed, then the total charge will be rupees A into kilowatt plus B into kilowatt hour. Is this charge for maximum demand, the charge will be different, and for the units consumed, the charge will be different. And this type of tariff means two-part tariff is applicable to industrial consumers who have appreciable maximum demand. Then is again in two-part tariff, it is made from the consumer. It is split into two components as just we have seen. One is for annual fixed charge, means whether the consumer use the electricity or not, the charge have to pay, and these charges are based on the total connected load. This fixed charge is based on the total connected load, and the other is the amount to be paid for the actual consumption of power. So the fixed charge depend upon the number of units consumed by the customer, and that's why the total charge is rupees A into kilowatt plus B into kilowatt hour. So what are the advantages are that this tariff is easily understood by the consumer. It is easily understood by the consumer, and it recovers the fixed charges which depend on maximum demand of the consumer, but these are independent of the units consumed. It recovers the fixed charge which depend upon the maximum demand of consumer but are independent of units consumed. The disadvantages are that they have to pay for fixed charges. Means whatever, means irrespective of the fact that whether he has consumed or not consumed the electricity energy, he has to pay the fixed charge. That is the disadvantage of this two-part tariff. And also there is error in assessing the maximum demand of consumer, because this tariff is based on the maximum demand also, and it is difficult for assessing the maximum demand of the consumer. Then next is three-part tariff. Now the three-part tariff consists of three charges: fixed charge, semi-fixed charge, and running charge. If A is fixed charge during each billing period, and B is charged per kilowatt of maximum demand, and C is the charge per kilowatt hour of energy consumed, then the three-part tariff becomes A plus B into kilowatt plus C into kilowatt hour. This is the formula for calculating the three-part tariff. A is what? Fixed charge made during each billing period. B is charge per kilowatt of maximum demand, and C is the charge per kilowatt hour of energy consumed. So the principal objective of this type of tariff is the charges are split into three components: fixed charge, then charge per kilowatt of maximum demand, and charge per kilowatt hour of energy consumed. So it consists of these three charges: fixed charge, semi-fixed charge, and running charge. Now next is maximum demand charge. Next is maximum demand charge. So it is similar to the two-part tariff. It is similar to two-part tariff, but the difference is that for the maximum demand is actually measured by installing maximum demand meter. It is similar to two-part tariff, but here the difference is that here the maximum demand is measured by installing the maximum demand meter in the premises of consumer. And this tariff is mostly applied to big consumers. This tariff is mostly applied to big consumers. However, it is not suitable for small consumers because separate maximum demand meters are required, and that's why it is not suitable for small consumers, because separate meter is required. The next is power factor tariff. Now in this power factor tariff, consumers load is taken into consideration. In power factor tariff, consumers load is taken into consideration, because power factor is very important, that has to be considered for the commercial consumer and industrial consumer. Now the commercial and industrial consumers where electrical machine works, and so they have to face the problem of maintaining the power factor to the required one, and hence they are penalized for poor power factor. Because if commercial or industrial consumers are there, and if the electric machines are there, then electric machines means power factor is there, means if the power factor is very low, then they will have to pay more for poor power factor, because they are penalized for poor power factor. And hence electricity board authorities, they generally suggest to use capacitor bank to improve their load power factor, okay, and maintain it to the required one. Means power factor of the consumers is taken into consideration for power factor tariff. Then next is TOD tariff. Next is TOD tariff. TOD tariff means time of delay tariff. Now, this structure in which different rates are applicable for use of electricity at different times of day. Means if the consumer is using the electricity in morning, then the charge will be different. If the consumer is using the electricity during night, then he has to pay at different charge, and he is using the electricity in from we can say 12 to 6, from 12 no, 12 noon to 6 p.m., then he has to pay a different charge. Means at different times of day the charge will be different. Means if the it means the cost of using 1 unit of electricity will be different in morning, noon, evening and nights. Means if he is using the same amount of energy, then at what time the consumer is using that electricity energy, and depending on that the charge will be different. The charge is different at morning, noon, evening and night. This means that using appliances during certain time of day will be cheaper than using them during other times. Means in this tariff means if the consumer is using the appliances at off peak hours, then the charge for consumption will be low. The charge will be low. But if he is using the same appliances during peak hours, then he will have to pay at high cost. So this is about TOD tariff. So this was all about tariff.